Hey, good afternoon. Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Happy Wednesday or happy hump day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, today is Wednesday. I did say that, right? Wednesday, April 10th. This is the daily check-in. I do the daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that's why I'm here today. Yesterday, just in case, did you not check out the live hospitality talk show called On Air with Russell of Hotels? You know, that show everyone's talking about. I had a guest on there, Mr. Trey Wilkie the fourth, right? Did you happen to see that? He's a sales manager, hospitality professional at the Catamaran Hotel Resort in San Diego, as well as the Bahia Hotel Resort, both in San Diego, like 2 minutes. I think he said it's like 3 minutes apart. I can't remember. They're in the same area, right? Right off of Mission Bay. So if you didn't check out that conversation, you need to check it out. It was pretty fire. It's pretty lit, if I may say so myself. We got a chance to, where's Trey from? We got information like where he came from, how he just upped and came from Illinois to San Diego. And I was like, well, damn, who wouldn't want to make that leap? You know what I mean? And no better place to go or to start your hotel career than in San Diego, right? But, just from, being starting at the front desk and working his way up to sales, it was just a great conversation of his experiences, right? And where he is now, he handles, small groups and things like that. But all that is highlighted in the conversation, right? So if you have not seen it, because I'm not giving it justice, okay? Because he has a different energy, a different passion, a different vibe, right? So I couldn't explain anything. You have to listen to it. Listen to it, check it out. I got a lot more respect from him. I already had respect from him when I first met him, but just going through the conversation, the questions I was asking, and how he answered the questions, and how there's a lot of thought put in back of the questions I was asking, and you need to check it out. So if you see me on LinkedIn right now, okay, you need to go check it out. It's right there. If you see me on Facebook, it's there. If you see me on YouTube or X, it's there, right? Because those are the platforms I use, right? So they're right there. In fact, I don't even have the chat on. People could be asking me questions right now, and I don't have the darn chat on, but I just put it on. So make sure you guys go and check that out. I didn't have a lot to talk about today. I just wanted to make sure that we paid attention, or if we didn't pay attention to it, it's not all about seeing it live, but it's all about seeing it. If that's on the replay, and I appreciate you guys watching the replay, because it's just as important, yesterday as today as it was yesterday when it first aired, right? So it doesn't matter, because it's not going anywhere. I'm not taking it down. I'm not gonna it doesn't delete after 30 days or something like that. It's gonna be there forever. So especially the interviews, anything that not interview, a conversation. When I have conversations with people, I keep them on forever, right? I'm not going to delete it. I'm not even going to delete it from my laptop here, right? Because I just think those are the ones that I need to regurgitate at certain times, right? And like show, hey, did you see this, particular conversation I had with Trey? You need to check it out, right? And the last question I asked him was, what advice would you give up and coming people that have never been in the industry before? New people to the industry that happen upon looking for a job or starting to work at a hotel. What advice would you give those people? And he came up with this answer that was just only he could come up with that, right? I don't even remember what the answer was, but I know it was dope. I know it was lit, right? No, but please make sure you check that out, because I think, like I said, he's one of those new up and coming, sales professionals in our space, in the hotel space, that people need to take notice. And one thing that he did highlight, his involvement in certain organizations like HSMAI, Hotel Hospitality Sales, Hospitality Sales Marketing Association International. Too many darn acronyms, right? That's what we do. We're big on acronyms in this hotel world, which is fine, or just the hospitality space. We're big on acronyms. And but he's involved in HSMAI. He has like a leadership role in there. mentoring, things like that. So that's good. So in order to get your name out there, you want to make sure you do things like that, right? You want to make sure you're involved in organization, hospitality type organization, and you want to make sure you get out and meet, with potential clients and things like that, potential partners, clients, or whatever. And that's how I met him. I met him on a road show that San Diego Tourism Authority did. Veronica, what's going on? Thank you so much. And so I met him at one of those things about a month ago. And, had I not gone, I wouldn't have met him. Had he not gone, I wouldn't have met him, right? Had V not had it, I wouldn't have met him, right? So a lot of people are involved in this. Like I said, thank you, V. Thank you, San Diego Tourism Authority. Thank you, Bahia and Catamaran, for sending Trey. And thank you, Trey, for being there, right? So, and then just the conversation him and I had led to me asking him, hey, why don't you come on the show? And he answered this question that everybody wants to know. I mean, this we could have just did the question and just let it go from there, right? Because this is the question that everybody wants to know. And I asked him, I said, Trey, people want to know this. He said, what? What is that? What is that? And I said, did you choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you? And he answered that question, right? So if you have not seen it, please feel free to go back and take a look at it and tell me what you think. Make your comments, like it, whatever. And if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, please follow me. If you don't follow me on YouTube or subscribe to my channel, please do so. Like I said, I'm also on Facebook and X as well. So if those are your platforms of choice that you listen to these shows on, that's great as well. I do appreciate you. So just make sure you stick around for those kind of things, right? Because I'm coming with the content, right? I'm not no holds barred. I'm coming with the content, and I'm bringing people on who can deliver that content, right? So there you go. So no, I didn't have a necessarily, because normally I have a topic that I go over. I'll save that for tomorrow. I think tomorrow. Do I have a lunch or something tomorrow? No, I'll save it for tomorrow. I have been working on. I'll be traveling this. Oh, you know what? On Saturday, I'm gonna do a live, like a daily check-in on a Saturday. A gentleman that I know that I met some years ago. He's in sales, but he's in Vegas, right? And he's not available during the day or during the week to do it, right? So I'm like, hey, you got a good story. I mean, you're in Vegas, blah blah blah. Can you come on my show? So we've been going over this for the last, couple of years, probably, right? Well, like I said, he's not available to do something like this during the week, and I can respect that, right? And I said, well, hey, I'm available on Saturdays. You want to do it on Saturday? And he said, yeah. So hopefully we can, connect on Saturday. I'll let you know who it is as we get closer. I just need a confirmation from him, because I don't want to just throw it out there and then he don't show up, you know what I mean? Or I don't show up, or I forget. But no, I was looking at my calendar. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but I was looking at the calendar and it popped up, right? So I have a, old school calendar, right? I don't just rely on my phone. I like seeing things. And another thing that Trey said that was kind of, I love this part of him, where he said he'd rather pick up the phone and speak to a client. Now, that is not commonplace these days, right? And I said, is that like a lost art that sales managers actually pick up the phone and have a conversation with their partner or their client or whatever? I think it is. Because I've been going back and forth, and this is not throwing any shade on anybody or anyone. I mean, if this is your way of doing things, that's your way of doing things. But there's a lot of salespeople that will rather send an email than pick up the phone and call. There's certain things that cannot be explained in an email, okay? I'll give you an example, okay? So I have some sites scheduled for next week, right? Like 6 scheduled in 3 cities, okay? So, of course, I'm in charge of, getting the logistics and all that stuff, make sure my client's going to be taken care of if I'm not there. And make sure, there's communication between myself and the hotel to let them know that we're coming, right? So that's what's been going on. And then one particular hotel, or one of my hotel partners asked me, Give me a little bit more information about, my client and the organization. And I said, well, just call me because I can explain it a lot better than what the website is. Because what they look for, because hotels, and I know this because I've been involved in hotels forever, right? I worked on property, and a lot of times we try to is it pigeonhole? I guess so. We try to pigeonhole, or we put particular groups or put groups into certain boxes, right? Well, so what happens when the group that you're representing doesn't fit in the particular box? They're different. It's an anomaly. It's an anomaly. Yeah, I said that right. So it's better for me that I explain it to you, because I can direct you to their site, which I did. I directed this gentleman to the website, but I said, hey, I can explain a little bit more what they're looking for, because the website may explain what the company is, or the organization is, but it doesn't tell you that they look for a certain vibe when they have their meetings. It doesn't tell you that they don't want to be next to a 10-year class reunion or a sales meeting, a kickoff meeting, or something like that, then it's going to be a little, loud or disruptive or whatever. That's not what they look for. They look for a certain vibe, because this particular group is, they're sharing sensitive information, right? So every group is different. Every group is different. And sometimes you have to explain, like, hey, this is what they're looking for. And it's not a typical group. It's not atypical, right? And that's how I start off this conversation. They're not looking for a typical hotel. They're not a typical group. They're looking for a vibe or a feeling, as to that hotel. Is it a kind of cool kind of vibe? Is it a friendly vibe? Is it a low key vibe? Is it a vibe that, they can kind of express themselves, and there's not going to be a lot of, stuff going on around them that's going to, bite them and, come back to, to bite them in the butt or whatever, they don't need to be near a pool. They don't need to, they need a place. And I always ask, you have like a meeting room that's like tucked away from everything, that is like one way in and one way out, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So if you're going down that hallway, you're going to that group. You're part of that group, because you don't want people to happen past or happen in the room and things like that, right? So there's some groups that are like that. And I deal with a couple of groups that are like that, right? That they don't want outside stuff or interference or noise or any of that stuff, right? So sometimes it's best that you pick up the phone, and I said all that to say this. Sometimes it's best to pick up the phone and call. That way I can explain a little better than sending it in an email. Oh, they need a different vibe. What does that mean? I'm sure if I said that, everybody that's listening or watching me right now will say, what the hell does that even mean? Russell of Hotels, they need a certain vibe? What does that mean? Well, if I explain the group to you, you would know exactly what the hell I said, oh, damn, okay. I guarantee you would say that. Maybe not damn. You would say something. You would say something close to that, because you're like, oh, that's unique. Yeah, it is a unique group. And there's a lot more of these unique kind of groups that are popping up that they don't fit in a box. I have two of these groups. I don't know why I've got these groups. I'm happy I have them, because they're, it's opening up my eyes to certain things that I need to ask my hotel partners now. Can you do this? Can you do that? Are you aware of this? Maybe because this particular group, their awareness on certain things is heightened. On certain things is really heightened. And I have to, let them know that they're looking for a different vibe. They don't need a traditional type hotel. And they're okay with not having what every hotel has, right? Of course, everybody wants, all the bells and whistles. They're okay without the bells and whistles, because that's not what they're there for. So it's just a little, it's not a little different. It's a lot different. So sometimes we got to listen to what our clients are saying, or to our clients are saying. And sometimes a phone call is suffice. Okay. We can't just always get around it with an email. And when Trey mentioned that, it just kind of resonated with me, because, and I don't think I was, out of line when I said, is it a lost art? Because there's a lot of salespeople that would rather email than pick up the phone and call. Now, granted, when I call you or we have a conversation over the phone, you want to follow it up with an email, that's fine. Okay, based on our conversation, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, send an email. Okay, yeah, cool, whatever. But it starts with the phone call, right? So there you go. There you go. There you go. So, but anyway, I think that's it. Like I said, I didn't have a particular topic, but I guess I made one, right? That's one thing about me. I can make up some stuff, right? I can talk about damn near anything, if it's in my head, right? If it's something that I think I need to get out. And that was one of the things I need to talk about was, just whatever the form of communication the client wants, that's what we need to give them, right? So if my method of communication is more over the phone, well, give me more phone, okay? If it's more email, give me more email. If it's more text, give me more text, right? It's okay. It's okay. We should adapt to them. They shouldn't have to adapt to us. You understand? And remember, I come from the place of a hotel director of sales, hotel manager, general manager. I come from that place. Okay, so that's why I can say some of these things and be okay with it, right? Because I've experienced it. I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I can talk like that. I can say because I've experienced both sides of the fence. I've been on both sides of the fence. Okay, so I've been on the planner side and I've been on the hotel side. So, and I'm okay with either one. I know the lay of the land, so to speak, right? And things have not changed that much where Russell of Hotels does not know what is going on property. And I'm checking to make sure that I'm live. I mean, it's a little late now. I've been on this thing for 17 minutes, but I just want to, yeah. You just want to make sure that you're live on certain platforms. So, yeah. So, didn't mean to do that. So, real quick, this is the Cambria Hotels. Remember, I'm still on the high with the Cambria Hotel thing, right? So, I went to their grand opening last week. So, of course, I'm still showing, some of their hotel features. This is a guest room at the Cambria Hotel, and I always say, don't sleep on the select service or limited service hotels because they're offering more value than some of the full service hotels. We'll go to the full service hotels for, if you're having meetings and things like that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Like a lot of, meetings that take up a lot of space. I understand that. But sometimes like for the little board meetings that we're having, like say 10 to, 25 people, maybe even 50 people. Sometimes these select services, they're the lick. That means that's a good thing, right? They're the lick. That's what you want to use them for that, right? Because you don't have the expense that you would normally have with a larger hotel, a full service hotel. A lot of times the parking is complimentary, okay? And if you're overnight guest, you got the breakfast in the morning. So why not take advantage of that, right? So, and if you're an owner of a hotel and you're trying to decide between, I'm gonna buy this full service or limited or select service, you need to go with the limited or select service hotel, okay? Okay, those are the ones that are making money. Okay, are you looking to see which hotels are being the ones that are being developed right now? It's the limited service and the select service hotels. You don't see a lot of full service hotels, 500 room properties. Every now and then you see there's a huge project going on in San Diego, and it's well over 500 rooms, I believe. It's the Gaylord in San Diego. I know that's going up, but you don't see a lot of those big box hotels coming up. Okay, so just thought I'd throw that out there. And then Cambria Hotels is one of those brands. Okay, they're part of Choice. So I just thought I'd mention that because I'm still on the, I'm still, that's the last hotel I went to. Because you'll recite things that you are familiar with, right? And I just happened to be there last week. It hasn't even been a whole week ago yet. So it's still there, still within me. So I'm still talking about the Cambria Hotel experience. So that's why I'm doing that. So not that you really cared, but so this is another Cambria. This is a front desk, people. Okay. So real quick, any questions at all? Always feel free to email me. I am a resource, right? So Feel free to email me with your questions, your concerns, about hotels. I got not news today. I had a conversation. It's the darndest thing. I get so much information from people that work in hotels, it's ridiculous. And these people that I know, right, they'll ask me, what do I think about certain things? And today I got something, well, no, it was actually last night. It's like last night at 10 p.m., someone calls me. Okay, obviously they know me, that well where they think they can call me at 10 o'clock at night, right? And that's fine. I mean, if you have my number, then damn, okay. I'm up at 10 at night, you know what I mean? But, okay. But I got this call. I'm not going to go into detail about this, but it has to do with demographics, and it made me think, what's important in in demographics when we're doing marketing and we want to go after a certain group or a certain persona. What's important? Is it important that, okay, what they make, their male, female, their family, you're going after families or whatever. Are those the most important things? Or if all things are equal, what the hell does race have to do with that when we're talking about demographics? If anybody makes over 150,000, everybody has a family, everybody plays golf, tennis, they watch football. Okay, if you know those three things, why do you have to factor in race? Why does that even matter? I mean, this is something that, like I said, you would be amazed the conversations that I have that hotel people, people that are in charge are saying to their people, right? I'm like, I can't believe that even came out, right? So I'm still trying to digest how to really present this and how to really have a conversation, but it needs to be had, right? The conversation does need to be had, right? Because that doesn't make sense. Who cares what they are, what they look like? You know what I mean? All you really care about is, do they check the box for the revenue? I mean, for the amount of money that they make, their household. Okay, ding, checks that box. They own their own home. Ding, checks that. They have a family. Bing, their hobbies are, tennis, golf. They watch football and basketball. Bing, okay, it checks 4 of those boxes. What the hell does race have to do with that? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, and this comes from it's not a major company, but it's a company that's out there, right? And like I said, I'm still trying to process this and really how to present. I guess I already kind of presented it, right? But it's just one of those things that just make you shake your head and like I don't get why this is an issue, okay? And let me just say this for salespeople: in order to get over that hump, okay, and the hump meaning that budget that you're working on, that everybody has to attain these certain numbers, you have to go after different groups. You can't go after the same groups that keep coming in your hotel. You can't go after the same people that you're going after, that you've been going after for years, right? Because the same things, you're going to get the same results, okay? So you have to look, open your eyes, take the blinders off and start working, okay? Because I know people still get bonus off of stuff that they've been booking for years, right? Which is fine, but I think the percentage should be lower. The percentage should be higher. There should be more weight on the new business that's coming in. How many hotels do that? That's one thing that, some salespeople, they're just relying on the stuff that's been coming in for this particular market segment. Okay, it's been coming in for years. I'm cool. I'm just counting, blah, blah, blah. That's fine if you build a relationship and all that. But year over year, I mean, we need to take note of this, that, hey, we're bonusing people on stuff that's been coming here for years. There's no new business coming here. That's how you really change the narrative, when you start bringing in new business from different markets. Okay, that's when like budgets are like boom, blown up. If we're just relying on, well, the production of this, if company A is going up next year, Well, what do you have to do with that? You didn't have anything to do with that. You didn't have to go out and find it. It just came to you. And that's fine because you have a relationship. That's wonderful. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you don't need to be bonused on it. I'm saying the weight or you don't need to be bonused as much. Okay. There should be more weight given to, or more bonus potential given to new business opposed to business that's been rebooked for the last 10 years. And you really had nothing to do with it. Boom. I said it. Yeah, I said it. Because like I said, I come from a place where you had to talk about those kind of things, right? I've been a director of sales and marketing, right? I did the budgets. I, assign, goals to people. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things that I remember we were given bonus and the hotel wasn't even making the budget. I'm like, why are we doing that? No, we need to, if you don't, it's like if you do A and B, you get C, D, and whatever, right? So A, meaning the hotel made budget, rooms budget, okay, that was the caveat for everything else. If you didn't make rooms budget, if the hotel didn't make rooms budget, you didn't get anything. That was it. Just stopped right there. Boom. If you didn't get that, then we have no other conversation. There's no other conversation needs to happen. Done. Okay. Come back when you make it. Then that way, people know they got to bust their butt. They got to go out and get new stuff. You know what I mean? They're not just waiting for that phone to ring. Get yourself out and make it happen. Go to these networking events. Do all these things. For someone that didn't have a topic today, I sure came up with one, didn't I? So that's it. I just wanted to share those things with you. And like I said, the one thing that I mentioned about the demographics, yeah, I'm still trying to process this whole thing and see how I'm going to present it. But it's not going away. It's something that needs to be talked about because if we're spewing this stuff out, I don't think that has anything. I really don't think. No, I don't really. I know it doesn't have anything to do with it, right? It's all about if they meet 4 of the criteria, the last thing doesn't matter. And based on the criteria, I make it. So I'm the person that out of the 4, I make what they're looking for. I made 4 out of 5 boxes. I checked 4 of them. Okay, I didn't check the last one though, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I'm trying to still get all this information together, and so I understand it, maybe understand a little better, and then I can like present it and maybe have some people on and talk about it. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, that is it. I'm Russell of Hotels. Like I said, I'm a resource. I do hotel site selection. Obviously, I talk on a daily talk show. This is the Daily Check-In with Russell of Hotels. I'm also the host and creator of On Air with Russell of Hotels, which happens to be one of these, top 100, I'm a top 100 social media influencer, whatever that ever means, with the Institute, International Hospitality Institute. That's the distinction they gave, as well as On Air with Russell of Hotels is one of the top 40 hospitality podcasts internationally. Okay, so those are, I don't just do this every now and then. I do this daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Tuesday, I do On Air with Russell of Hotels. So if you just happen to just check in with me just now, meaning you just came on to see what the hell I was talking about, remember to go to my show yesterday, which was Tuesday. That was On Air with Russell of Hotels. I had Mr. Trey Wilkie, the 4th, on there. He's a sales manager at the Catamaran in San Diego and the Bahia in San Diego. Okay, so check it out. He's a sales manager there. We had just this long conversation. Man, the show's about an hour or so. And we talked about some important stuff, like, as a salesperson, how he got into sales. Did he choose hospitality? Did hospitality choose him? All that kind of stuff, right? So he was able to come on and talk about himself, himself as the brand, because we're all brands, just in case you did not know that. But he was able to talk about the Catamaran as well as the Bahia. What's the perfect, group for him, for those groups, right? I mean, for those hotels? What's the perfect group for those hotels? We talked about that. Talk about the location, where it is. It's in Mission Bay. They're like, what do you say, maybe 5 minutes apart or whatever. But yeah, we talked about those things as well. So there you go. That's it. So once again, Russell of Hotels, my job is to bring stuff to you that maybe you didn't even think about, right? Well, there it is, right? And I'm here to answer any questions you have. I am a resource. And once again, my email is russell@russellofhotels.com. If you want to call me, which people do, like I said, someone called me last night at 10 o'clock last night and had a conversation about some things that, are going on that, she needed some clarification on. I'm like, okay, I'm here for that. And that conversation ended, it followed over to today, but it started at 10 o'clock last night, right? So, but I had to call this morning and say, wait a minute, just so I understand, that wasn't a dream I was having, right? You did say this, right? Okay, so she did. Okay, all right, gotcha. And if you want to call me, just go to my website, which is russellofhotels.com, and there's a phone number there. You can call me. If you don't want to, email me, which is fine. You want to call me, holler. There you go. So that's it. You guys have a great day. I didn't intend for this to be 31 minutes, but it became 31 minutes. So if I have something to say, I just want to make sure I say it because there's other people out there that, may have the same questions or concerns. Like, why is that even a thing? You know what I mean? So, or maybe it's just one of those things that make you think like, never thought about that. What does that really have to do with that? And those are the things that keep me up at night. Like, what does this really have to do with anything? But, anyway, that is it. I'm done for the day. You guys have a great day. Once again, happy hump day. And we'll see you tomorrow for another daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. Until then,